Last night on MasterChef Australia.
This is an absolute monster.
The top 6 amateurs faced a creation by Adriano Zumbo.
I don't know how any of us are going to get this cake up.
And Alvin was the first to fall in a week of eliminations.
I deserve to go because of the efforts I put today. The better cook survived.
Tonight, the final 5 continue to fight for their lives.
There are 5 of you standing here, but at the end of today, there will be 4.
Together, they tackle a mystery box hand-picked by Jimmy.
He's chosen something for him and not us.
And race to serve up the best 2-course menu.
We're all in a lot of trouble.
To keep their MasterChef dream alive, they'll have to impress special guest judge Shannon Bennett.
I just don't want it to end like this.
I never thought I'd make it into the finals week, and now here I am, top 5. Won the Adriano Zumbo pressure test.
Time for you to go with Matt into the pantry and find out what your prize is.
Tomorrow's challenge is a mystery box. And you're about to find out what's in the mystery box. You will choose the ingredients that will be in tomorrow's mystery box that everyone has to cook with.
This is by far the biggest advantage that I think anyone's had in this competition, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
Jimmy, what are we cooking? Tell me now. Tell me, but then you'd have to kill me?
You'll be fine, trust me, you'll be fine.
Jimmy's got a bit of a mean streak, and if there is a chance for him, with the advantages he's got, to stick it to the rest of us, he will do so. That means that this challenge today could potentially be a disaster for most of us.
Walking through those doors, it's the finals week. A person goes every day. I'm really hoping it's not me.
We all walk into the kitchen. Mystery boxes. I would never have expected mystery boxes today of anything. And now I'm thinking, what's the advantage that Jimmy's had?
Either Jimmy's seen what's in the mystery box, or Jimmy could have possibly chosen what's in the mystery box. So God help us either way.
Good morning. Welcome back to the MasterChef Kitchen. This is the finals week. There are 5 of you standing here, but at the end of today, there will be 4. 1 person will be eliminated and will be going home.
Momentous occasions require momentous involvement. And for today's challenge, we brought in a chef we've never used before at MasterChef. We brought in a chef that we've chased for 2 years to persuade him to come and help us judge. This man has worked with Alain Ducasse, with Marco Pierre White, with Albert Roux. He is the chef of the 3-hatted Vue de Monde in Melbourne, Shannon Bennett.
I'm Shannon Bennett. I'm chef and owner of Vue de Monde in Melbourne. The basis of our food style is French, but we are really trying to evolve what we do at Vue de Monde into telling a story about Australian cuisine, is creating a memory in the guest's mind. We need to make sure that we really do tell a story on the plate and we do give an experience.
Now, Shannon, you worked alongside George and Gary at the Sofitel. What were they like to work with?
It was actually one of the best times I've had. I mean, the creativeness that we had together was brilliant. We had some great memories, I think, Gary, don't you think?
Jeez, absolutely.
What makes a great cook or a great chef?
Well, I think instinct. And I think a relaxed attitude that you are going to be cooking for yourself and that you want to eat what you're cooking. I think that's what makes a really good chef in the end. The rest of it is all about experience.
Right, on to the challenge. It's the mystery box challenge. But this is a mystery box with a difference. Jimmy won the pressure test and he had a prize, he had a reward. And that reward was to go into the pantry with Matt and choose the ingredients that are now sitting under the lids of those boxes.
They can't seriously have done it. They cannot have let Jimmy choose an entire mystery box. They were way too evil.
I know for a fact that Jimmy has chosen some very, very difficult ingredients. This challenge could swing wildly from brilliant to terrible. It's time to lift your lids on your boxes now.
I think Jimmy's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for some people. He's chosen something for him and not us.
Right, let's have a look at the ingredients that you have in your mystery boxes. You've got cherry tomatoes on the vine, lemons, ginger, garlic, onions, chilies. You've got besan flour, or chickpea flour, as it's known. You've got garam masala, curry powder, muscat, and gorgonzola.
Where's the meat? Where's the fish? I don't believe in lentils. It's like the colour beige for me, lentils. No.
Under your benches, you've got your usual mini pantry of ingredients, which includes flour, eggs, sugar, cream, and butter.
Some of them look like they're going to get some daggers out and stab him in my back.
Jimmy, is it a mystery box or is it a stitch everyone else up box?
There is an element of difficulty in this for the others, but because I want to stay in this competition.
You know, he has to play to his own strengths, and we would all do exactly the same thing.
As if Jimmy's choices of ingredients for the mystery box weren't enough of a nightmare, I fear there's one more surprise. In the mystery box, you normally get to create one dish, a dish of your choosing. This is a finals week. Today, you'll have to produce 2 dishes. One savoury and one sweet. Courtney, what's running through your head?
How am I going to turn garam masala, lemons, ginger into something sweet? Going to have to think quick, I think.
Claire, you look like you are deep, deep in thought.
I am. I'm in that terrible position where I thought I had it all sorted out, and this 2-course thing has totally thrown me.
It's a hard challenge. You're earning your right to be in this competition yet again. At the end of cooking, Gary, Shannon, and myself will taste your dishes and decide on which 4 of you have done the best job. And also, who will go home.
You've got 90 minutes to make 2 beautiful dishes that keep you in this MasterChef race. Your 90 minutes starts now.
Jimmy's given us one heck of a mystery box today. Some pretty weird ingredients, ones that I think most of us are probably not too comfortable with. Shannon's up the front, so I want to do some things that maybe will impress him with some of the French-style techniques that I'm using, but the mystery box is about as far from French as you can get.
Jimmy, how are you going?
Going good.
What are you cooking?
2 types of lentils, 2 types of dals, and I'm making a basin paratha. Sweet dish is gorgonzola fritter, 2 types of muscat ice cream, and a reduction of muscat.
What do you think of the flavours? Are you looking forward to gorgonzola and sorbet?
Not really.
I'm doing a lentil curry, which I'm sure that's probably what Jimmy's doing, so it's going to be interesting how that goes.
I love eating a good lentil. Unfortunately, I've never actually cooked them from dry. So I'm just going to be sort of winging it a little bit, doing it by instinct.
Have you made one before?
I haven't made a lentil curry before. I've been making a few curries in the house with Jimmy recently, so I don't know if it's the best idea to try and out-curry him.
You've been taught by Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because that smells great. I like it.
Thanks. And then for dessert, I'm going to do some bruleed ginger and lemon tarts.
You got a good pastry recipe?
Unfortunately, the pastry recipe I've been using a lot recently is a sour cream pastry recipe. We don't have any sour cream today, and I could only really remember ratios of a regular short crust pastry.
All the sour cream does is it adds that soft element, so that you can replace that with an egg, or you can replace it with a little bit of water or more butter.
Okay,
Callum,
thank you.
Focus,
Yeah.
Wipe your brow.
Thank you.
And give it your best shot.
I'm starting with my savoury dish, so I'm making a yellow dal. Normally I'd make a bread to go with that, but there's no self-raising flour, so I'm going to make some pakoras. They'll be the dipping vessel for the dal. The dessert I'm still struggling with. I've got a few ideas. Desserts are not my thing. Ice cream could be risky if it doesn't set. Scones, there's the wrong flour. I'm really struggling to find something without a fruit or something in that box. I think panic's setting in. Start that again.
There's a lot of pressure on all of us today. We each have to cook a sweet and a savoury dish from the contents of Jimmy's mystery box.
For my savoury dish today, I'm making oeufs mollets, which is essentially soft-boiled eggs. So I'm serving that with the onion soubise. The onion soubise is made from cooking down onions for as long as possible. The onions are then pureed and then mixed in with white sauce. And then cover that with some Gorgonzola gratin. The last element is a little crisp that I'm making out of chickpea flour with some lemon and chilli inside as well.
This is so not what you do in this competition. You do a lot of Japanese and Malay.
Well, Shannon's in. I thought I'd use a few French techniques. I've been learning them through the competition, so time to put them into play.
The gratinated eggs with the sous vide sounds absolutely delicious, but just be careful that, you know, that's all you need.
I'll see how the crisps come out. If they don't work with the dish, then I'll leave it off.
Yeah, it's just all about that flavour, and just make sure that you're cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
And the dessert will be a candied tomato with a ginger and salt granita.
I'm starting with a ginger syrup. I'm going to freeze the syrup into a ginger and salt granita.
And then, hopefully, a garam masala sabayon.
You know, do you need the sabayon? Do you need, like, more?
I just thought the sabayon would be nice, creamy texture to kind of tie the two together.
It's going to be fascinating. If you can get it together, then that'd be fantastic. Can you do it in time?
It's going to be a tough ask.
The savoury dish I'm going to cook is a Gorgonzola Mousse with garlic tuile and a muscat sauce. The sweet dish that I'm going to cook is a layered lemon curd semifreddo. There are a couple of risks. One is whether or not it's just going to hold together as a menu. I wonder whether I might have gone a bit heavy on the kind of creamy stuff.
I'm confident working with the lentils to make a dal. I'm really having troubles thinking of where to start with the dessert. It's starting to send me a bit haywire. I'm starting with the savoury because I still haven't wrapped my head around the dessert, to be honest.
What?
Doing a... I know.
What do you mean?
I know. I've got a few ideas, but desserts aren't really my thing.
Share the ideas.
Crepe with like a ginger lemon curd with some whipped cream. A profiterole, but it's just whether I can get that done in time.
Well, was crepe your first idea?
Yes.
If it is, you know, go with instinct.
We had to make crepes in the knockout round to get back into this competition. I've made them, I know I can make them. So I've decided that my sweet dish will be a crepe with a ginger and lemon curd with some whipped cream. I'm extremely worried doing a lemon curd that I've only made once before. I don't think the judges are impressed with the fact that I couldn't even think of a dessert to begin with. So if I do stuff this one up, then there's a massive chance of me going home.
The question is, at this stage of the competition, is it about survival or is it about impressing us, knocking our socks off with something a little bit different? You're just over halfway. You've got 45 minutes to go. Jimmy, I reckon, has given them the most difficult mystery box I've ever seen. Who's cooking something that's really caught your eye?
Adam, for me, I really love the idea that he's thought about, obviously, what appeals to me.
He's picked French.
Yeah.
He's gone with things like oeuf mollet, which is a soft boiled egg, and sous vide, which is classically an onion-based sauce.
He just pairs it back a little bit, maybe just a little bit of plain bread or classic
You want some
soldiers.
crunch in there, don't you?
You do, yeah.
Now, Courtney.
I think that she's going to do a good job on the main dish, but if she can do a really simple crepe,
Yep.
I'd be very, very happy. Presented beautifully, and she's got plenty of time because you can make the crepes in advance.
Yep. Claire. What's that? Ice cream? I thought you were making parfait.
Well, it's a mixture. It's a layered thing.
Ah, OK.
Yeah.
And is there something textural, a crunch or something warm going with this dessert?
Probably not at this stage.
I'm hearing everything that Gary has to say. I'm just not coming up with any solutions to the problems he's identifying.
You've got 2 creamy things on the menu, and you need something to break that. You know,
Yeah,
whether
I
it's
just
a
don't know
twirl or a
what.
crumble or a sand or I don't know, something.
Sand, really?
I'm just looking at what I've got and the amount of time I have to do it, and I'm seeing, just stuck. You know I need to change something, but I don't know what to do.
Just had a sticky beak at Callum. It's exactly what we make in the house. It's like got the same bread we were making on Sunday. Nothing would make me happier than him making the exact same dish and it tasting better because he'd have to claim that I taught him.
While my curry paste is cooking, I've just started cooking one of my flatbreads. I kind of forgot about it, so I think it might be a little bit burnt, so I chuck it in the bin.
Yeah? What's that?
It's a flatbread to go with the curry.
That looks great. What did you chuck it in the bin for?
Oh, no, I thought it started to look burnt.
Oh, I love those little burny bits. It's like it's come out of the tandoor. Look how puffy that is. Next time, don't chuck them in the bin. Just put your hand up. I'll come over and eat it.
OK,
all right?
no worries. Thanks, Gary.
I kind of wish I hadn't thrown my first flatbread in the bin. I can only hope that I can make the rest the same.
Now, Claire, she's doing 2 dishes, both with creaminess to them. She's got a Gorgonzola Mousse, and then she's doing a parfait with lemon curd.
I would not really like to be eating a very rich Gorgonzola Mousse, then going into a frozen parfait.
When you talk about basic menus, you try and avoid having a repetition of ingredients going through it, so you get that balance. Now, what about Jimmy?
We're having this lentil curry, and then all of a sudden we're going to have sort of a bit of an unbalance with Gorgonzola.
The concern is the Gorgonzola cheese and the curry spices, and a bad tummy afterwards.
Yes.
I think so too.
I have a look in the ice cream machine and it's just not churning fast enough. I think to myself, I'm just going to throw it straight into the blast freezer and churn it by hand.
I think what happened was the mixture was quite warm when it went in. So if I can just chill that down, churn it once, it'll cut the churning time down by half.
It's not probably the ideal way of making ice cream, but if I don't get into there, it's not going to set.
I think you've got to be careful about freezing ice cream and then putting in the churner. What it does, it freezes the fats in the ice cream. You can have lumps in it.
OK.
All right, and the reason the ice cream churns beautifully is because it freezes the cylinder and scrapes it off and keeps it smooth. So just be careful about that.
I think I've just taken on way too much today. I was going to make a muscat sorbet as well, but I don't think I have enough time. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just going to focus on the ice cream. All I can think about is I've got to make this dish work.
Courtesy of Jimmy, we're getting this beautiful aroma. You've got 30 minutes to go.
For my sweet dish, I'm going to make bruleed lemon and ginger tarts.
My pastry's in the oven. I'm a bit concerned. I'm not sure. I didn't follow a recipe. I kind of just used ratios, which isn't always the best measure, so I'm just hoping it works.
I've made bad pastry in this competition before and it's not looked favourably on by the judges, and if I do that today, it could definitely send me home.
When there's eliminations on the line, probably not the best day to be taking risks, but I think Jimmy chose a mystery box where I kind of had no choice but to take a couple of risks.
So my curd's in the fridge, my dal's simmering down. I need to get on to making the pakoras. I've made pakoras once before and it was with raw ingredients, and I've tried to just get a bit of extra flavour in today by caramelising the onions. Putting the onions into the chickpea flour, I start to realise that the onions are still quite hot, and I think it's turned my chickpea flour to glue.
I've got a feeling those pakoras are going to be a bit heavy.
I'm thinking I should have cooled the onions or possibly not even cooked them. I've got no backup plan with this, so I'm just going to have to run with them.
The sweet dish that I'm going to cook is a layered lemon curd semifreddo.
So that's just designed to be creamy because the lemon curd is tangy.
You gonna put some crunch on that?
I don't really have any crunch available.
I'm running out of options and fast. Like, I know that there are issues with my dishes. I know that I don't have enough texture, but I don't know how to set about getting texture.
You've got flour, you've got butter, you've got sugar, you've got crumble.
Okay.
Ginger, lemon zest.
Okay. Matt and Gary seem to be concerned about the lack of texture in dessert, so I've made kind of a crumble, but I don't think it works very well.
There's no texture on the dessert, you know, like it's all creamy.
I would have preferred to keep it as it was, I think.
have 15 minutes to go.
So I take my tarts out 2 or 3 times just to have a look at how they're going.
Why didn't you just press it in and create those lovely little crimps on the edge there?
I made quite a short pastry, and I wasn't sure if it was all going to shrink back in.
Right.
One of the things about making up a recipe as you're going along is you don't know how long something has to cook for, so you just need to keep checking it until it looks cooked.
Is this your ginger and salt granita?
It is, but I'm not very happy with it. The texture's not quite right, so I'm actually going to blend it up.
What I'm a little concerned about is the granita. It's way too sweet in terms of the syrup, so I'm blending it up with some ice and salt, and that brings the texture back to exactly what I wanted.
Did she make the crepes?
I saw a custard being made.
No, the crepes are there. Look, the whisk and bowl. Yeah, she's not started. Ooh, she's pushing it a bit. Claire's got butter and a chunk of gorgonzola in a pot. What's going on there?
That looks like panic in a pot to me.
As usual, everything's taken me a little bit longer than I had hoped. And I know that I really need to get started on that tuile, and I'm kind of putting it off. I've made the garlic tuile before, but not with the limited ingredients I have today.
For one of you, this is the last 5 minutes that you'll be cooking in this kitchen.
So crepes go into a hot pan. I don't have my cream whipped yet. I don't know how in a 90-minute challenge I didn't get time to go get the cream whipped, but I haven't, and I'm just gonna have to run with what I've got done.
The sauce is sitting there, and then for some unknown reason I decided it's a good idea to turn it back on and maybe reduce it some more. Which wasn't the world's best idea because I then proceed to completely forget about it and burn it. And I have to start all over again with about 3 minutes to go. I don't think that the tuile's going to work, and I'm now realising that this could be the last thing that I cook in this kitchen, and it's going to be a disaster.
You have 2 minutes to go.
I take the gorgonzola out of the freezer, it's set, but I'm not gonna have enough time to fry it down. I've got so many things done, but I'm missing the hero of my dessert dish, the gorgonzola, and also the muscat sorbet. I'm thinking, the ice cream tastes fantastic, let's get some sweet out, or this is just gonna go pear-shaped.
With 40 seconds to go, I'm plating up the crepes. I've got no cream on them. I don't even have a little ramekin to put the lemon curd into, so lemon curd gets smeared on the plate, crepes go on. Looks like a dog's breakfast, but let's hope it tastes all right.
You've got 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Your time's up.
It's over. Mystery box from hell.
What have you done to us and yourself?
I know. Crazy.
You've just completed the mystery box to present 2 dishes, a savoury dish and a sweet dish.
Gazza, Shazza, and myself are now going to taste your dishes.
Shannon Bennett worked for some of the best chefs in the world, so I think his standards are going to be pretty high today, and it's going to take a lot to impress him.
The first dishes we'd like to taste are Jimmy's.
Please let them like this. Not only will I feel bad if I'm going home today, but I chose the ingredients for the mystery box. I'm gonna look like an absolute idiot if I lose.
2 types of lentils, 2 ways. I've got basin paratha, onion pakoras, and muscat ice cream.
Jimmy.
Gary.
I like both of these curries. And there's some nice flavour from the spices, not overly about chilli, which I like. The pakora, I don't know. They're flashy onion rings. Maybe you could have done something a little bit more special with them. I know that you were going to do that gorgonzola fritter. I'm disappointed it's not there, but that ice cream, love it. Love the flavour, right amount of sweetness, right amount of depth. But in that little bowl, Jimmy, look at me.
you've not loaded enough garlic and butter on your garlic and butter dal. Your tarka dal is much more successful. It's under-seasoned, but it's got a nuttiness and a toastiness that's really attractive. Paratha is another great example of a great bread.
In terms of your presentation, the dish is not quite right.
Yeah,
Three beautiful quenelles on a frozen plate.
Makes much more sense.
Flavour is excellent. Like, seriously good.
The judges are happy with my food, but they're not wowed by it. Right now, all I can think of is, please let me be safe in this competition.
The next sweet and the next savoury dish that we'd like to taste belongs to Callum.
I'll never be a waiter. My savoury dish is a lentil curry with flatbread, and my sweet dish is lemon and ginger brulee tarts.
Who taught you how to make the flatbread?
Jimmy.
And the flavour in the curry?
That was also Jimmy.
Callum, you could probably do with a couple more lessons in flatbread from Jimmy, but that dal is absolutely fantastic. Jimmy's done more in terms of smoothness, in terms of technique, but this is the dish I'd want to eat.
I actually quite like how rustic it is. It's got that sort of homemade feel, and it's got that sort of Frenchiness about it that I like. Pastry's really delicate, actually a lot more delicate than what I thought. It actually came out really well.
Let's see. The reason I'm the shape that I am is because when confronted by a dessert like this, it's very hard for me to stop. Just give me a moment.
Gary, step away from the pastry. Gary, step away from the pastry.
Wow.
I'm ecstatic with the judges' comments. They're really kind, really generous. I'm really proud of myself.
The next contestant to lay their wares before us is Courtney.
The savoury dish is dal with a caramelised onion pakora, and the sweet is a crepe with a ginger and lemon curd.
You see that one hasn't cooked in the middle? Yeah. Undercooked. And that's just not acceptable. Which is a real pity because that is the best dal that I've tasted today. And those little nuggets of tomato just kind of add some freshness and some relief. So really, that is magnificent. Thank you. I just think that that lemon curd needs more than just a couple of crepes.
It actually is a very good dal. Pakora, I mean, seasoning's good, but too claggy. Thickness of the crepes is passable. Maybe if you'd cooked them a little bit earlier, you could have added a bit of a syrup. I think just one other element, and it would have been actually a very good dessert.
Thank you.
The next two dishes we'd like to taste belong to Adam.
The savoury course is oeufs mollet served as a gratin with soubise and gorgonzola. The sweet course is a ginger and salt granita with some candied tomatoes in a muscat and garam masala sauce.
I think that the velouté's just overpowered that soubise, that onion flavour. The tuile doesn't work. It's too sweet. The eggs, though, save the dish because the eggs are cooked perfect. I applaud the idea and the presentation I like.
Great.
I love the fact that you brought us wonderfully gooey, runny, soft eggs with a gorgonzola and onion sauce. It's really clever, delicious tasting food. I think the challenge with this dish is probably you've done, ironically, too much. Just those two perfect tomatoes with a bit of that kind of sweet hit, more salt in your granita, and without the sort of distraction of the garam masala and the muscat, would have made it a cleaner, a real palate cleansing dish. But I love the idea, and I love the fact you didn't just look under your bench top and give us something with eggs, flour, milk, and take an easy way out. Brave. I like seeing bravery. Other people may think it's rashness.
You got to be a bit fearless. You got to really let it all out and cook your best at every opportunity. And at this pointy end of the competition, there's no truer time for that kind of feeling.
The final dishes that we'd like to taste from the Mystery Box Challenge today belong to Claire.
The savoury dish is a mousse and a muscat sauce, and the other dish is a layered lemon curd semi-freddo with a crumble.
What's the biggest disappointment for you today?
It's partly about the food, it's partly about letting myself down, but it's partly also just that sense that you guys don't really get why I'm here, or that it matters.
And why does it matter?
I clearly don't have the emotional vocabulary to explain to you why this matters so much. And I always fall back on, I'll let my food do the talking. I can't do that today.
We've told you before, you're so hard on yourself. Look behind you, there's just 4 guys left. It's a pretty special experience.
It's just that the only thing worse than having to stand here with a dish like that one is like letting everyone see how much it hurts.
There's no harm, is there, of letting your emotions out? Should we taste?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it over with.
The muscat syrup doesn't really work with the gorgonzola. But the actual Gorgonzola mousse, your mistake really there is just the presentation, because what you've got is a very subtle, light mousse or cream. It's lovely. Needs something else, let's be honest. It needs that garlic tuile. Maybe that's the first thing that you could have made. Crunchy topping. That tastes beautiful. That's gorgeous. The fact that you've formed it into a parfait and you've got that creamy base on the bottom just balances it up beautifully. And the little crumble, nice edge, nice crunch, nice sweetness. It's a great dessert.
It's light, it's salty, and it's just crying out for a piece of grilled sourdough. I really like the mousse. Presentation's really good. Honestly, yeah, really nice flavours.
Guys, we've tasted your dishes that you put up in the most important mystery box you've done so far in this competition. Based on what we've decided, 4 of you will continue on your dream still burning brightly, becoming the next Australian MasterChef. But within minutes, 1 of you will be walking out those doors for the very last time. Shannon, how did everyone go?
I think really well. All of you had some really pleasing elements in technique that I actually was surprised by. Some of them were creative, some of them were more technical. I felt that if I could have a couple of days with all of you in my kitchen, all of you could become really good chefs.
No one has stood out today as making an enormous disaster. You all cooked your hearts out. It makes me very proud, standing next to Shannon, who's a guest in our kitchen today, to see you guys working well, working methodically, working cleanly, how far you've come since you stood in this kitchen at top 24. If I call your name out, I want you to step forward. First person I'd like to step forward is Callum. Callum, you are safe. You are the first person through to the top 4. 1 step closer, my friend, 1 step closer.
Unfortunately, someone standing behind me is going to be eliminated, and obviously you don't want to have too over-the-top emotions and make them feel bad, but on the inside there's a little person dancing, going, yay!
I look at the level that you're at right now and it'd be like a 2nd-year apprentice, maybe possibly verging on 3rd-year apprentice. Great work ethic, really well organised, so well done.
Thank you.
Callum, what did I tell you to do when someone says something nice to you? You ask them for a job.
Okay, well, at the risk of being turned down, I'd love to come do a stage with you at some point.
Not an issue at all. The door's open.
Thank you. A stage is when a chef goes to a really well-respected restaurant and basically works there for free for a while just to try and, get a job there or get some experience or get some ideas. So being offered something like that from Shannon Bennett and having the chance to possibly learn from him, it's massive.
The next person through to the top 4 is Adam. Adam, you can smile! We liked your food today because it was technical, it was creative. It showed the creativity that you need to become a great chef.
You have some instinct in your palate there and your technique and your thinking process that is very unique, and you're going to make me look like a real idiot because my apprentices, I always give them the advice, keep it simple. But you've gone outside the square and you did really well. And I applaud that. Now, tomorrow, make sure you go back inside the square and keep it simple, okay?
Yes. Thanks, Shannon.
The next person that will continue their battle on in this competition and become part of our top 4 is Jimmy. Step forward.
Jimmy, look down. See those toes? They're on the edge of a precipice. You had a huge advantage today, and you did not make the most of it. You do that again, and you'll be in the bottom 2. Courtney, Claire, please step forward.
I've never been in this position before in the entire competition, where I'm staring down the barrel of elimination.
Courtney, Claire, it comes down to you 2. One of you will be safe, will go through to the top 4. The other will leave the competition. Claire, I don't think you've ever been this close to going out before.
I feel like I've let myself down. I feel deflated, I'm disappointed, disconsolate, I don't know. I just really want to get through. I just don't want to go out like this.
Courtney, you've stood in this position before.
A couple of times now.
Courtney, a good dal, but stodgy pakora and not really MasterChef potential. Claire, before you've even tasted your dish, your lack of confidence has us believing it's going to taste terrible. And then you bring us a savoury course without the crisp and the crunch that we're really looking to see. But the technique in the mousse was fantastic. And that dessert was a triumph. And that's why you're safe in the competition. Courtney, I'm sorry to say, you're going home.
That's okay.
We can both cry.
Told Alvin I'd cry for him. I think I tried to talk myself into being okay with it and being strong. I guess there's no ideal way to leave this show unless it's covered in gold glitter and winning the title.
The food that you've given us in this competition has been some of the best food that we've tasted, and that's why you're standing here.
What we're offering you is the chance to be one of the 3 contestants we bring back into the competition.
I just wanted to come back and cook good food.
Courtney's going at this thing like a ball out of a gate.
For me, it was all about being true to myself, cooking some good food and having fun doing it. I cooked plenty of dishes. I've blitzed it in the team challenges.
Courtney, those meatballs were absolutely outstanding.
I outcooked 19 others in the competition, so that's not a bad effort.
Yeah, Courtney, you're through to the next round.
To be watching celebrity chefs and to learn from them and to have them tasting my food and telling me what I've done right and what I've done wrong, you just can't get that anywhere.
When she put that tray down, I thought this kid's been to China, definitely.
The squab is cooked to perfection.
That jus is magnificent. That is for me, liquid gold.
All this in 2 hours.
MasterChef is the start. It's a turning point, it's a fork in the road. I've had enough time in this competition to realise it's really what I want from life. I'd love to start up my own little catering company one day. I really feel like I've achieved something, and hopefully a few doors will open and who knows where they'll lead me to.
Courtney, it's now time to leave the MasterChef kitchen. Thank you.
Blubber on here.
Just wipe it off your shoulder.
Thanks, Gary.
No problem.
Thanks. Group hug. Thanks, guys.
Watching Courtney upset at leaving the competition, I really feel for her. But she has such grace about her. She's also very thankful for the opportunities she's had. And it reminds us all why we're here, and it reminds us how much we want to be here and how much we want to win, but also how lucky we are to be here at the same time.
Well, Mr. Bennett, it's time for you to leave as well. Thank you so much for coming in and helping us judge today. And thank you also for your wisdom and your advice. Shannon, it's been a pleasure, as always,
Thanks,
mate.
mate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Gary.
Shannon. See you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Well done. Thanks. Keep up the hard work. Well done.
Jimmy, Callum, Claire, Adam, our final 4, drift home on clouds of happiness and take a well-earned rest. We'll see you somewhere tomorrow.
So Claire, Adam, Jimmy and me make up the top 4. I don't think even the craziest of gamblers would have predicted this at the start, but these guys are all fantastic cooks and I'm really looking forward to going into battle with them in the next couple of days.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia.
Today is a cookbook challenge.
The final 4 cook from the heart as they present their cookbook vision.
It's a very personal challenge. This is your food.
Together, they must serve up their 3 best dishes.
This is what it comes down to. Will your dreams come true or not?
And deliver the most impressive concept to stay in the competition.
I think it's one of those days where good food can still see you being eliminated.
And guest judge Maggie Beer will expect nothing but the best.
I want to have my senses engaged the moment I see it.